you.
Give her a holler.
Yep.
Also, you've now officially been flashed. What?
My backyard's full of leaves. Raking?
Raking.
No, not raking. Raking.
I'll be over.
You've now officially been flashed. My favorite color is glitter. Okay. Also, I have to show you these because they are so awesome. Can you see my ruffles? Let's see how I do this.
Yeah.
Got those at the dollar store. Rocking the ruffles. That's right, baby.
Cute.
All right. Never too late to have a happy childhood, people. I'm working on that like every day. I'm actually playing at it. This is the month of May. I've been telling you for a while that we were going to do this, and what we're going to be doing on this show and the one in a couple weeks when I got Melissa here with me is we're going to be talking about pain, how to tap on pain and how to navigate pain and all those things. I got to tell you though, okay, because y'all know I get a little snarky, it constantly amazes me. Okay, you go up and down and all through Facebook, and now I get like one answer I'm doing on everything, tapping in capital letters. I do not care what your issue is. I don't care if you're having physical pain, emotional pain, if you've got a crappy boss, if your partner's giving you issues. It does not matter what your issue is. It's all based on the fact that with tapping, it is based on the discovery statement that every dis-ease comes from a disruption in the body's energy system. So let me tell you real fast what tapping is. Tapping is acupuncture without the needles. Okay? Now, please remember when I'm saying this about tapping that we all used to think meditation and acupuncture was crazy. All right? So all you people pushing away the tapping, okay, because you tell me you've got doctor's x-rays or you've got a diagnosis or you've got whatever, that does not dissuade me, okay? Right. Because tapping is awesome for pain management, okay? I would never tell you to stop doing what you're doing with the doctor. Do not change your meds. Don't go off meds. Don't be doing stuff without your doctor or your psychiatrist or your psychologist, whoever it is that's helping you, okay? This is something you can use in conjunction. In other words, let's say you broke your leg or you broke your toe. With the tapping, you actually enable your body to heal faster because we get rid of those yucky negative beliefs that say, well, it's going to take this long, or my body can't heal that well, or whatever. Okay, there are even people who say, the tapping's not going to work for me because I don't believe it. Okay, listen up. If you've never heard me say this before, all right, this is not a belief system. This is science. Okay,
right.
So I don't need you to believe it. Okay, and the first thing I can do is get your crappy thinking out of the way. Okay, the only reason, oh man, I had no idea I was going to go on a tirade. What?
I was just going to say, you know, you don't realize, everybody, that it really makes a difference. Because I remember the first time I went to one of your Tuesday night classes.
Oh yeah, that was the one where you were getting ready for me because I F-bombed all night.
Oh yeah, she said this wonderful word.
Lisa does not cuss, and I love cussing. And she showed up at my house, and by the time she left, she was a little shell-shocked.
And the funny thing is like, you know what? Before I went, I had meditated, and you know what? That word came through. Yeah. I'm like, where in the world did that come from? Because I don't say that.
Yeah.
And here I go, and I meet Colette, and there it is.
And I'm F-bombing all over the place because that's my favorite word. Okay.
It really works. It really does.
It really works.
It really
and you
does.
can even do that when you're tapping. Let's say your foot hurts. My foot hurts so effing bad. It's so, you know, you want to get as emphatic as you can, okay? But I swear to you, it just blows me away that you would choose pain,
right?
Okay, over tapping and clearing. You got nothing to lose, okay? Yeah. The only reason you believe the things you believe, okay, is because that's what you were taught.
Right.
Really, aren't you a little more expansive than that? You know, you can change your beliefs. And let's just say, maybe you were taught that, give me a crappy belief, because the one I thought of is not going to be well
I'm just thinking that I don't deserve, you know, a happy life. All the things that I've done.
Yeah, because we walk around and we carry, first of all, we call them mistakes.
Yeah.
There's no such thing in my world as a mistake. Okay? Because if I do something and it doesn't work, okay, that's actually successful. I know not to do it again. And if I do it again, right. And if I do it again, then I just didn't make it big enough for me to get it.
Right.
So with the tapping, what we are doing is we are acknowledging negative emotions and negative emotional experiences that got lodged in our body. Let's just say it that way, okay?
Good.
When we had that experience. So time again, and Lisa I know has even learned this. There are people that will sit and tell me some crappy story, okay, about a family member or whatever, and somebody who's tapped with me, I've watched this so many times, will say, you ought to tap with Colette. And they go, oh, it doesn't bother me anymore.
That's old. I'm past it.
Okay,
No.
well, is that why you're still telling that story? Because
Right. Are you
because
still there?
what you're not getting is this is not about right now, okay? This is about the old garbage that got stuck in there. Because let me tell you what, I tap with people all the time where I can get you crying in about 5, 10, 15 for sure minutes, okay? And everybody's shocked, like, I'm crying in front of a stranger. What am I doing? And it's, no, your little body's been waiting for an opportunity to detox, okay? So let's talk about pain. Pain is, and there's emotional, physical, spiritual pain, right? Okay? Pain is a way of our body getting our attention that something's not right, okay? Everything that ever is, was, will be, was a thought first. So even the pain in your body, okay, metaphysics, in metaphysics, okay, was created by the negative thought. Okay, so let's say you're this little awesome being, which you were, okay, and you did, I don't know, you got into the flour sack, or you know, you and the dog did something, and the room blew up, and nobody knows how it happened, right? Yeah. Mom walks in, says, I want you to go to your room, take a time out, figure out what you did wrong, take responsibility. That's how you learned a very long time ago that responsibility means fault and blame. Okay? Responsibility does not mean fault and blame in my world. Responsibility in my world means I am responsible for what I think and feel. In other words, even if somebody doesn't like me, okay, imagine that. Really, I laugh at that because, don't be so quick to raise your hand. I laugh at that because there are people who like me and there are people who don't, okay? And I say to people, who's right? Okay? Because your perception of whether or not you like me has nothing to do with me. Other than I remind you of someone else that you liked or didn't like. Did you get that?
I do.
Right now.
Yeah. You think I'm the pain in your neck. If we start tapping, we're going to find out it's you. You wasn't expecting that one. Okay. So, when we have pain. Now, I will tell you from the work that I do, depending on where your pain is, and I would never tell you that I can get rid of whatever it is that's going on. What I can tell you is we can address the symptoms. Okay. Symptom of hurting your knee is pain.
Amazing you said that, because that's where I tend to have, it's not a constant, but when I do have problems, it's my knee.
Right or left?
It's my left.
Okay, so what she just told me is the knee is about, the left side is feminine energy, okay? That's about taking in. What you told me when you said you have pain in your left knee, okay, because the knees can also be about unbending, not forgiving yourself. So what you're telling me is you can't take in any more information that makes you wrong, that makes it your fault. You are trying to resist by pushing against the fault and the blame that you feel for whatever happened, okay? Now, we do not have to go in there and find every crappy childhood experience you ever had, okay, to figure out why your knee's hurting. There's a really amazing thing that happens with tapping. If I start tapping with you, you know how this works. Within a few minutes, we're going to be at a previous experience, because I'll tell you to go write this down, come back and watch it, and write down these 2 questions at some point, because this will really help you navigate the pain, all right? How does having this pain make me feel?
Okay.
Oh, that's so good, okay? Does it make you feel angry? Does it make you feel frustrated? Does it make you feel helpless? Does it make you feel dread? Does it make you feel sadness? You see what I'm saying? And then ask yourself, and you can tap while you're doing all this, okay? When else have I felt this way? Okay? All right? Okay? So maybe somebody said something to you, and you knew that it wasn't part of your truth or whatever. I don't really like to talk about things like that way, but you know what I mean when I say it. Somebody says something to you, and even though you know it's not true, you're still kind of aligning with, well, yeah, I did some things, and maybe I'm not that good, and, you know, all those things that we do, okay? You're trying to not take in the fault and blame. I can tell you this, people. The more you're resisting feeling at fault and blame, the more you're going to feel it. Okay? This is a law of attraction, inclusion-based universe, and I have to say, I'm laughing because for 2 or 3 days I had the word inclusion written on my hand.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, listen. When you used to do that stuff when you were little, it was because you were brilliant, all right? So now when there's something when you remember, we do rubber bands. We do.
Yes.
I wrote inclusion on here for 2 days, and let me tell you what, the awareness I had in my world,
neat.
because it's, I'm going to explain this, because somebody I was telling about this thought I meant inclusion, like I care about how you feel,
Everything.
and I care how you feel, and I care. Not really. Okay, because I don't have any control over it. And if I start feeling bad like you, I can't help you at all.
Right.
Okay, so what if the most I can do is to really feel good? And in my awareness that I'm lining up with you feeling bad, well, I'm just putting more feeling bad in the world.
Right.
You know, I mean, we're both in the crapper now, right?
You're adding to it.
Okay, and these concepts are really not that hard to understand. I give people aha moments over and over and over in every session.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that you know, you're trying to resist that feeling bad, and that knee is letting you know. Now you might say, "Oh yeah, but I fell. That's why it hurt." Okay, but when you understand sabotage and that you actually fell because of the thought process, the psychological stuff that was going on with you, your subconscious is always going to make you right, okay? So if I feel like I'm unforgivable, okay, and my knee can show me that I have not been forgiving myself, I'm probably going to do something to mess up my knee, okay? Now, I can go to the doctor, I can get it fixed, okay? And or, okay, I can, in addition to what I'm doing with the doctor, also get in there and find those root causes.
Right.
Okay? Because when I get to that root cause, which is usually some aspect of not deserving, not worthy, not enough, not good enough, right? I'm going to start knocking stuff out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Listen, I got a lady, I don't know if she's watching me right now, but I got a lady who has no cartilage in her knee. When we got to a core issue, she took a 15-minute walk that day with zero pain. She was stupefied. Okay? Whew, it's hot in here. Is it hot in here or is it me?
I'm thinking
It's you.
Oh, well, I'm always hot. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So, when you're doing this stuff, when you're tapping and you're starting to move the energy, I want to remind you a couple things. You are detoxing. Drink a bunch of water. Thank you so much for turning on that fan. You also want to remember this. We are releasing the old stuff. So if right now you're kind of in a happy place and you feel good, but you say, well, I keep getting this or I keep getting that, okay? We're just going in and clearing that old limitation, okay? You don't have to feel like, it's actually empowering to have more control of this vehicle, this spaceship that I'm in, okay? By being able to listen to it, hear what it's telling me. See, we're used to thinking our brains are smarter than our body. And what I tell people all the time with the work I do is I'm trying to get you out of your head and into your body, because not a lot of good things happen up here.
We're all up there,
Yeah. And I even have realized in the last couple months that I carry a lot of my pain and a lot of my suffering in my head. Why? Because it's safer. Okay? Doesn't matter why you think you do it, just let me get in there and knock it out. Which, by the way, I do this one-on-one, I do it in group, give me a holler, I'm telling you, in one session, you can't believe how much garbage we can move. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take those questions, okay? How does this pain make me feel? And when else have I felt this way? Because if the pain makes you feel powerless, maybe you had an ex that made you feel that way. Okay? Maybe a parent, maybe whatever. And it doesn't mean we're throwing them under the bus. Okay? It actually improves our relationships. Okay? I have to tell you, I just went through several days of laryngitis, which my husband thought he was on vacation, I think. And even though I would yell at him in whispering. Yeah, I was like,
never away from it.
It's like, you need to get this. Come on. So,
Are we ever going to tap?
are we ever going to tap? He said, you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. When you're watching this whole dang show, you can just be tapping. You can be having fun just clearing and tapping.
True.
Yeah, because I tell you all the time, it actually helps your brain absorb what I'm telling you. Okay? All right.
Very good.
So, yeah, we're going to get to the tapping. See how he is? He thinks he's the boss of me. Okay? All right. So, and then even going back to some other beliefs, like let's say you think I'll just have this pain the rest of my life in my knee. Well, I'm going to have it. Now, what happens is the next logical thought is it's going to get worse the older I get. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That was a lovely crappy thought. I just, but most of us think that. Okay. Right?
Yeah,
okay.
right.
So let's. I'm afraid to let go of this pain. I'm afraid I'll always be in pain. I'm just giving you some setup phrases. Okay,
Good.
folks. So you come back, watch the show, do this tapping along with, and get your question in there. Input the emotions, because remember, it's called emotional freedom technique. okay?
Yeah.
So I am releasing myself of that negative emotion that makes me think I'm actually less than I really am.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you're infinite, you're awesome, you're powerful. Okay? It's like I tell my clients all the time, you already are powerful, you're the one who doesn't
Just
know
don't know it.
I
Yeah.
see it, you don't. Okay? All right. And a really magical thing happens when you start cleaning up your own stuff and you start doing the positive affirmations,
Yes.
which you can tap in, okay? You're just going to love it the day somebody says something really awesome to you that you've been affirming. Like when they say, I really appreciate you, or gosh, you're so fun to be around,
Yep.
or, you know, I love your energy, or something like that where you're like, whoa, what'd you say? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do, I'm afraid I'll always be in pain.
Okay.
We'll just use that as kind of a jumping off point, okay, to get started. So you tell me on your knee when you're thinking about, I'm afraid I'll always be in pain, and y'all do the same thing here. You want to rate it, okay, on a I say 1 to 10. It's 0 to 10, 1 to 10, okay?
Okay.
10 being the worst. I believe that is so true, okay? 0, 1 being, nah, not true. So how true is it?
I'm going to say 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for not lying. Okay.
Yeah. It is.
Okay, so let's go to the side of the hand. If you've done this before, you know what we're doing. If you haven't, just follow along because it's easy peasy, fun and good. Ready? Okay. Even though I'm afraid that I'll always have this pain,
Even though I'm afraid that I'll always have this pain,
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
And even though I'm afraid I'll always have this pain,
And even though I'm afraid I'll always have this pain,
I deeply and profoundly
I deeply and profoundly
love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
And I got to tell you guys, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, it does not matter. Get your pain in mind, okay? And even though I'm afraid I'll always have this pain,
And even though I'm afraid I'll always have this pain,
I deeply and profoundly love and honor myself.
I deeply and profoundly love and honor myself.
Go into the eyebrow. Okay, now I've learned something here, and I think I've said it before. For some reason, you men cannot find where your eyebrow starts. Women know because we pluck and
Yeah,
everything.
that's true.
Okay, it's right where your eyebrow starts. Okay, so tapping right there about 7 or 8 times is the way we do that. I'm afraid I'll always have this pain.
I'm afraid I'll always have this
Side
pain.
of the eye is about the middle of the temple there. I'm so afraid I'll always have this pain.
I'm so afraid I'll always have this pain.
Under the eye, this pain in my body,
This pain in my body.
I'm just afraid it's always going to be there.
I'm just afraid it's always going to be there.
Under the nose, it's true.
It's true.
Chin, I believe it's true.
I believe it's true.
Collarbone, I believe it's true. I'll always have this pain.
I believe it's true. I'll always have this pain.
Under the arm, and I probably will and it will probably get worse the older I get.
And it will probably get worse the older I get.
Top of the head, this pain that's going to keep getting worse.
This pain that's going to keep getting worse.
Go to the eyebrow. This fear, it will get worse and worse.
This fear, it's going to get worse and worse.
Side of the eye. This fear, I always have trouble figuring out which way. This fear that it's going to feel worse and worse.
This fear that it's going to feel worse and worse.
Under the eye. This fear that this pain will get bigger.
The fear that it's going to get
Okay, I just had in my
bigger.
head. Here we go. This fear I'm going to have surgery.
This fear that I'm going to have surgery.
Chin, all this fear.
All this fear
Collarbone, about this pain.
about this pain.
All this fear about this pain in my body.
All this fear about this pain in my body.
Top of the head, all this fear that I'll always have this pain.
All this fear that I'll always have this pain.
Eyebrow, all this fear that this pain will get worse.
All this fear that the pain will get worse.
Side of the eye, all this fear that I'll always have this pain.
All this fear that I'll always have this pain.
Under the eye, all this fear that this pain.
All this fear that this pain
Under the nose will actually have another part of my body compensating.
will actually have another part of my body compensating.
Chin, and I'll have more pain.
And then I'll have more pain.
Right? I work
Yep.
with people where they'll say, well, now that my knee hurts, I do
This
this,
side,
and now the
yeah.
ankle hurts. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. Collarbone, all this old pain.
All this old pain.
All this fear about the pain.
All this fear
Okay,
about the
are you
pain.
feeling that?
Yeah.
But it's really the word fear.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
it?
it
Right
is
here.
fear.
All this fear about this pain.
All this fear about this pain.
All this helpless fearful pain.
All this helpless, fearful pain.
Side of the eye. All this helpless, fearful pain.
All this helpless, fearful
Okay,
pain.
now listen to me. If you've got the part of your body we've been focusing on and it's actually getting more intense, that's good. Don't be afraid of it, okay? Under the nose, all this pain.
All this pain.
Chin. All this pain, and I'm listening to my body.
All this pain, and I'm listening to my body.
Collarbone. All this fearful pain in my body.
All this fearful pain in my body.
Under the arm. This long time fear about pain.
This long time fear about pain.
Top of the head. All this old pain.
All this old pain.
Take a breath. Okay, I got to tell you this. I just had a thing come up in my head when I was a sophomore in high school. I had the worst earache I think anybody's ever had in their life, and that's the pain that it made me think of, okay?
Okay.
Because I was connecting the dots in my body. But this is how tapping's supposed to work, okay? Is that a story will come up,
Yep.
and I hadn't thought about that pain in some time. It was, I mean, I was like this was 40 years ago, okay? And this was back when your parents would give you pain meds. So I took one of my dad's pain meds. It didn't touch the pain,
Oh my God.
okay? And I was only like 16. So what I'm saying is it's supposed to work like that. But let me tell you this. If you are afraid to navigate an issue on your own, don't do it, okay?
Right.
Not everybody can do what I've done by going in and cleaning up my stuff. Some people just really need the support and the assistance of someone
Right.
else. And I'm going to tell you another story. The other day I was at Starbucks with a friend, and if you're watching, don't worry, I would never say your name. And we were having a discussion, and a couple things happened. Now, we all know I'm pretty powerful, right? I mean, you know, that I show up big, okay?
Yeah,
All right? If you don't like me, that's okay, all right? Because I'll let you go too.
Right.
It's not my job to convince you to
okay.
like me, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're sitting there and we're talking, and I said, well, there's some things that you're doing that we need to talk about. And so I had said to her, and she says, yeah, well, you know, it's kind of like, well, you do some
You
things
do
I
some
don't
things
like.
too.
I was like, okay, hit me, right? So she starts, and then she says, I think I need to start tapping. Now, we are sitting in a Starbucks that is about as busy
Oh
as
my
I've seen a
gosh.
Starbucks. You know, now, neither one of us get all worried about tapping because we know
Yeah.
the world's all going to be
Do
doing
it.
this at some point, right? Okay, so we're tapping, and I'm even kind of egging her on, okay?
You're making
Because
it.
I know
Okay.
this is not about me. I know there's something else going on,
Right.
okay, that I remind her of something else. So she's even going, you know, that Colette's kind of being like a bully, and I go, just like, well, boom, up comes the person.
Oh my
okay?
gosh.
We had like a huge hallelujah moment in the Starbucks. Because it was the kind of release that I used to have when I did my own, and that was where I'm just going to tell you, and this is not to freak you out, and that's why I tell you, do it with someone else
Yeah.
so that you're safe and you're protected and all those things, and that is this. There were times the realization and the trauma came up so big I felt like I was going to pass out, okay? But I've probably had a little more stuff than a lot of people, okay? Because I'm also super sensitive and all of those things. So what I want you to know is I stayed with her. I'm not afraid. Y'all can't
Right.
scare me, okay?
Right.
So because now that I've done this and cleared my own stuff, I can stay there and be a witness for you because I don't take on your stuff, okay?
I love it.
You're the ultimate chooser of whether or not you're allowed to do this. I'm telling you what, when I got home, I kept sending her happy birthday notes because it's like happy birthday,
Yay.
like when Frosty comes
Yeah.
to life. That's like one of my favorite visuals in my head. That awareness that, oh my gosh, because she understands that she creates, she understands that it's all
Right.
connected, but when it comes to us, it's just harder to see. Okay? Having
True.
said that, I want to thank my sponsors again, Logan Street Signs and Banners and Noblesville Trophies. I want to remind you that it is through the generosity of everything that Jim Wofford does here that we can come here and share this with you so that you can get money and friends and happy life and all these kind
Oh,
of things.
beautiful.
I want to let you know, June 24th, if you're in or around Indiana, Camp Chesterfield, I am going to be doing a 3-hour tapping workshop. Okay, it's on my line. Go find it on my line on Facebook, or it is also on my TAPNGRL.com website. A 3-hour tapping workshop. Are you ready? It's $25.
Man.
Okay, listen, this is an awesome opportunity. You got to come in person, okay? But get there. Bring people by the carloads. You go on to Camp Chesterfield or go to my timeline to register, okay?
Okay.
And it's just going to be this and more fun, okay? Tell them who you are.
Okay, Lisa Stasiak, Reiki master, not raking leaves, but Reiki. We work with energy. Essential oil.
Although sometimes you need Reiki after you rake leaves.
Right, true. I could do that too. And essential oils, Young Living, and the great thing about the things that I do work right along with tapping. I mean,
Yeah.
there's oils. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
show us your bottles.
I've got all these
Show us your
things.
stuff.
I've got some geranium. I've got an oil called Gathering. I've got lavender, all kinds of things. So
Yeah, nice.
I'd love to hear from you. lstasiak45@gmail.com.
Yeah, and you can even
Yeah.
ask Lisa, how do I blend
Yeah.
these oils? Give me 2 or 3 that I can use
Yeah.
separately, together, different ways,
We
all
can
kinds
meet
of
up
stuff.
and do what.
Because we really are smell
Oh, yes.
ignited.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you know.
Memories come right back.
Memories come back with smells. Yeah. See, every one of our, what are those called?
Senses?
Senses. Really are vibrational interpretation of what's going on. Like, for example, I don't like clove.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Some other people do.
Yeah.
Okay? See, we're all different. All right. Go find me at TAPNGRL.com. Go find me on Facebook, Tap and Girl Tapping Into You. Send me questions if you need help. You know, we never have enough time here.
I know
That's
it.
the way
I
it
know.
goes, Pete.
Fast.
Go tap out some of your pain. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with Melissa, and we're going to talk more about pain. Until I see you next time, besides tapping it out, Angel, that's for you, Melissa. Keep tapping into you.
Yay.
Yay.